so I wanted to show you kind of what I was thinking. This is the design for November, and I did it, this is Valdani. I'm not sure the thread color, I'll find out for you. And this is Valdani also, but two colors. And as you can see, one is, they're actually mirror images of each other. So I like to trace the design on using freezer paper, and if you don't reverse the image, then you get the reverse. So I stitched this one up, and then I drew the design off of it, printed it onto freezer paper without reversing it, and I get this. So you can see it really, unless there's writing or numbers or something that's very directional, it really doesn't matter too much which way your design is heading. In fact, I'm left-handed, so I always seem to make things heading to the left, to the right, like birds. And so if you're right-handed, maybe you want them flying the other way. I don't know. It's up to you. So a couple ideas I had for assembling these pieces into a quilt. I think what I'm planning on doing, and you do whatever you want, but I'm planning on stitching all of them up with this one tone of thread. And this is the one that I'll be using for my quilt. Now, I haven't decided yet how I'm going to put them together, but some options that I'm thinking are to make little little mini quilts, I guess you'd call it. So say this is my embroidery, and then this is backing, and maybe I'll have some batting in there and quilting and finish it. So it's just an individual piece. Now this can be put in a frame and enjoyed until I get them done, or just put in a little box and waiting to be revealed. So once I have them all done, or however many I want, then I'm going to do some really fun stitches to hold them together, so there wouldn't be any sashing and not a lot of machine sewing. The other option that I had is to do the quilt as you go. So this is the backing, say this is the embroidery, and you sew the pieces together when you're all done with the seam up facing the embroidery. And then I used a product, it's by the Stitch As You Go lady. It's a really easy way to make binding. And so I just would make some binding, and then I can do some decorative stitches on either side of that too. And so now it does have a sashing per se, and then a place to add in some more stitches, or just hand stitch that down blindly so nobody sees it. The other option is to do the same thing as the Stitch As You Go, or Quilt As You Go. So I have the backing and then my embroidery. I quilt it all up, but then I'm going to take a bigger seam. Instead of a 1/4 inch seam, I'm going to take a 5/8 inch seam, and then once I get it sewn, I'm going to trim the light colored fabric down, and then pull the blue or the backing fabric to meet that seam. I don't know if you can see that. So I've trimmed that, pressed that over, and now that's kind of becomes my sashing, and I can either hand stitch that down as you did with the bias tape, or you can do some fun stitches along it too. So that gives you some options too. So of course you can always piece and do some fun little, corner blocks or with stars or whatever. But these are just a couple other options to let you know that you can really let your imagination go wild on this. So yay, have fun, yay. I hope you enjoy. Bye.